All America, all the time. Sit down, buckle up, and get ready for The Dan Bongino Show.
It's funny how we work on like hand signals in the show. It's like those in an airport when you're vectoring planes in. The runway controllers there out there. I need one of those, the little light bars. I need one of those for him. Just like, he knows exactly what's going on. We have like 1,000 switches in here to turn stuff off and on. Yeah, Bongino sign language key, you're right. So listen, because I hate teases, because they suck, I really hate that in the business. Stay tuned. In an hour, we'll tell you who the most dangerous man in America is. That's the title of the show today with a question mark. I hate that. If you like the show, you'll stay tuned. If you don't, you won't. Doesn't that drive you crazy? We'll be talking about Ro Khanna. Who the hell is Ro Khanna? Exactly. A lot of people may not know this guy, but it involves Elon Musk. It involves censorship. It involves a whole lot of bullshit. It involves obstacles we'll be talking about today. We got a lot to get to because the Supreme Court's going to be launching some decisions, maybe on birthright citizenship soon. Huge. If you're born here, are you automatically a citizen? I don't believe that's what the Constitution and the constitutional amendments that addressed it, I don't believe that's what it meant. However, Supreme Court ultimately is going to decide that maybe today, maybe during the show, which will be huge. I got that. Also, there's a crazy new group out there. All right. Guy was debating putting this in the beginning of the show, but you'll see what I mean. Hey, diversify your savings with gold, like I do, from Birch Gold, BIRCH. Get a free info kit on owning gold by texting my name, Dan, to the number 989898 today. Message and data rates apply. Today's show also brought to you by Berna. I get asked a question all the time. I'm really looking for self-defense options. What do I do? What do you use? Well, one of the products I fell in love with a long time ago before they were a sponsor is Berna, B-Y-R-N-A. Berna. I have a Berna they sent me. I have a couple. Let me tell you, I trust it. Berna's less than lethal launcher fires powerful kinetic and chemical rounds that can incapacitate an attacker for up to 30 minutes. I can give you time to get away or call for help. My guys have Berna CLs too. Berna's new compact launcher. It's about the size of a smartphone. Really convenient to carry, very easy to use, no background check required. The Berna CL fires at up to 400 feet per second with serious stopping power and was designed to help with de-escalation, not devastation. It's a tremendous option to have. Berna is proudly American, assembled in Fort Wayne, Indiana. More than 750,000 Berna launchers are already in the hands of law enforcement and responsible citizens who want protection without tragedy. Give it a shot. Take a look. That's all I ask. If you believe in being prepared, you also believe in restraint, Berna, B-Y-R-N-A, is for you. Go take a look today. Go to Berna.com and learn more. Berna.com. Check it out. Thanks, Berna. Fellas, let's go. Yeah, I know. But that's different than like the ear. I can't hear anything in my ear. That's a direct point. It's not you don't have to make the little circle there. So I'm driving in this morning. It's not a terribly long commute to the Dan Bongino studio here. And I'm listening on the radio, and they're talking about how all the energy in the Democrat Party right now is with the socialists and how the socialists are running on delivering results. What freaking results are you talking about? Are you crazy? How do we keep going down this path? I don't want to beat this thing to death because it's such a big, global, obvious point about the failure of our education system to tell people you want to freaking starve to death. You want a shitty public safety situation in your liberal blue city. You want to defund the cops. You want an open border. You want weak foreign policy. Then go and vote for these lunatics. What are they delivering? I don't understand. I'm missing this, guys. I really am. I know it's a failure of our media, our academics, our people in the entertainment industry who have a lot of influence to do even basic homework. But how has this socialism you say is going to lead to utopia led to anything other than a hellscape dystopia? Everywhere you try it, people leave. There, look at the montage. I say that because there's a bunch of primaries going on in New York City, I believe Utah, South Carolina today. And in New York, you have a bunch of die-hard socialists running. And all people want to do in New York is escape. New York and California, population plummets. Look at the headlines. I don't understand. If you're so successful at your business model, why does nobody want to buy your product? I don't understand. To the younglings out there, middle-aged folks, Gen X, Gen Y, Gen Z, Gen whatever. How are you falling for this bullshit? These people, everything they stand for, you run away from. Defunding the police, defunding ICE, DEI, men's penises in the women's room, no school choice, shitty public schools, bankruptcy, state spending, railroads to nowhere, everything they stand for. Oh, I want to say something about moose nuts, but I just, it just sucks. How do you keep falling for this? Producer Jim last night, this is another reason I was thinking about this too. This is psychopathic behavior at this point for this small group of people who align with this governing model of socialism that all they want to do is escape from. They don't deliver anything but pain and misery. I told you, like, they've lost their freaking minds. They're out there on Team Algae, so much so. Producer Jim found this last night. There's an actual, like, charitable organization out there that obsessed with the algae at the reflective. I couldn't believe it. When I saw this, I'm like, no way this is real. I don't know. Jim found it. We saw it on the dark web out there. The fellas picked it up. You guys check this out. Tell me if you think this is real. Take a look.
Go, algae! Let's go, algae!
We at the Algae Salvation Society are on a mission to preserve the suffocating and gross effects of algae in the reflecting pool, just to stick it to Donald Trump.
Be careful, there's a Nazi! Be careful, there's a Nazi!
As leftist lunatics, we must ignore common sense solutions to make things in our nation's capital beautiful and encourage things like algae blooms and pond scum to destroy anything good Trump tries to do.
Algae is doing good today, honey. Team Algae, we're sweethearts. Everybody's proud of you.
At ASS, we are Team Algae because anything that is good for President Trump and the rest of the country is bad for us.
Yeah, algae.
Join us in saving the algae because at the Algae Salvation Society, we are all ass.
Algae!
They really should have thought through. They really should have thought through the name. Ass? They're all ass. You couldn't think of a different name? Maybe the Algae Preservation Society, apps instead of ass? Producer Jim found it. Hot tip producer Jim. Hot tip Emily Miller for some of that footage in it. You really should have thought that through. Motley's in the chat. Motley's in the chat. That's the more Dan Bongino. Pointing to the iPad means Motley's in the chat. Motley's in the chat. Folks, unfortunately, that footage is real. People in pink hair, actual pink hair. If you listen, Motley's in the chat. If you're listening on Apple and Spotify, watch the video. We are ass. Well, that part, all right. But the lady with the pink hair in the pool celebrating the algae is real. These people are crazy. He thinks it's a little too much humor at the beginning of the show, but folks, this is not funny. This is not fun. This is real. You've got a fourth estate media enterprise that's supposed to be the preservation of decency and good behavior in government by bringing sunlight to problems. And all they want to talk about is the freaking reflecting pool and a bunch of lunatic, the chat's going crazy right now, a bunch of lunatics cheering on freaking algae. What are they delivering? You've got primaries today in New York. You've got this Daria Lisa Chevalier, it's just an absolute lunatic talking about wiping her hands on the American flag. Free stuff, free. What the hell is free? How is it free? How is name any product, tell me how it's free. Free healthcare. Is the doctor working for free? What about the nurse? What about the janitor in the clinic or hospital? No, they're not working for free. So who's paying them? Oh, you're paying them through government, which takes a cut for themselves instead of you paying them directly and demanding better services. How do you keep falling for this shit? They're also at war with the patriarchy. Folks, Father's Day, what happened this weekend, the attack on Father's Day? I even saw a couple liberals come out and say, like, these op-eds about Father's Day and how I was confused about my gender or my daughter. Whatever. It wasn't the time for that, lunatics. I want to say again today that we do stand for something. I want to say thank you to all the hardworking, dirt under the fingernails, oil under the fingernails. You'll see what I mean in a minute. Oil, dirt, grime, coal dust under the fingernails. Males out there and men in the patriarchy busting their ass to support their families, produce the petrochemicals and energy, farm the food, keep the electric grid up and running. Thank you. I just saw this video yesterday and Guy was like, he was kind of confused where this goes in the show. This is my thank you to the patriarchy week with Father's Day and everything, and show you this Republican Party, the one we're proud of. We respect hard work, men who put in the time. Look at this. You see this? This is at Wealth via Instagram. I did an externship with a petrochemical company when I was in school. I ain't going to say where or anything. And I'll tell you, I got a good amount of experience with, well, I'm not a roughneck like these guys, but with the business. You ever see these guys? You want your 16-year-old daughter doing this? Hey, she can. If she can, she can. But you really? You know how dangerous this work is? To the roughnecks out there, oil fields producing the energy so we can power up our cars or iPhones or whatever, run this podcast every day. Thank you. Look at this video. You want to be doing that? These guys could die like that. Heavy, dangerous equipment moving at lightning speeds, requiring people to think and physically exert themselves at the same time. Those two things aren't easy. You ever try to fight when you're gassed? No one's going to kill you in a professional fight, maybe in a street fight, but not in a professional. These guys could die any minute. Thank you to the patriarchy for busting your ass. While Daria Lisa Chevalier and all these other freaking crazy socialist lunatics run against the white male patriarchy being the source of all power, knowledge, a construct of power. Don't trust the patriarchy. Don't trust the patriarchy. You wouldn't be able to do shit without the patriarchy.
Let's go, Algae. Let's go.
This is so nuts. I can't get over this algae story. This is where Guy had a little bit of beef, but I had to put it out there anyway. You know, we covered a lot at the beginning of the show. Birthright citizenship, socialism, the education system falling apart, political versus territorial jurisdiction. It's going to come up in this birthright citizenship case. Are you born here? No matter the circumstances, outside of, foreign diplomats, you're automatically a U.S. citizen? I don't buy it. I think it meant political jurisdiction, which is a different thing. However, we'll see. Hopefully that'll get announced today during the show. That'd be great. But I wanted to celebrate the patriarchy too and just remind you that I grew up in a different New York than it is now under these crazies who are going to be primary today. New York was different. It just was, folks. The vibe has shifted now. It's a different place now. When I grew up in New York, it was a very working class town. And by the way, it was full of immigrants too. Just because they weren't immigrants largely from South and Central America doesn't make them not immigrants. There were Germans. We lived next door to Ukrainians. There were some Lithuanians that had moved in. This was not uncommon. People act like New York is wasn't an immigrant hub. How do you think my grandparents got here to New York, by the way? They grew up in Jackson Heights, Queens. Ironically, AOC's district now. When I grew up, these are the kind of people I grew up in New York in. They were exactly like this. I saw this on Instagram. I sent this to my buddy. He was a best man at my wedding. We were cops together. He's like, yeah, this is it. Check this out.
What's up, fuckface?
We do our two prosciutto poppies.
Yeah, all right, Pepperneck.
Who the fuck you think you are wearing a New York beanie and fucking pinstripe?
Cuz, you know how many championships we got?
Doesn't even matter.
Let me ask you guys a question. I'm working in 2 weeks. Everybody comes in from Boston. Besides, I can't understand a fucking word you say. You guys all wear green. And you guys all buy Sprite. Everything's fucking green. Green hat, what? Because the wool in the stadium's green? I don't understand you guys.
When I think of New York, I think of just rats and chopped cheeses.
Yeah, rats. How about you? Shave your face. You never heard you gotta have a clean face? You look like a fucking agent.
You see what the Yankees
Donnie Brasco over here.
The Yankees make their fans shave their faces.
Yankees. Show some respect. You know whose jersey this is?
Fucking Jackie Robinson.
Jackie Robinson. This is Mariano Rivera, Mo. He's a friend of mine.
Oh, well, what about Jonathan Papelbon, 2000?
Yeah, I'll call him up. He'll take an onion. He'll throw it at a 90-mile-per-hour fastball. Hit you right upside your neck.
It fucking sucks. I'll call David Ortiz. He'll fucking knock it out.
Yeah, David Ortiz is a
Yeah.
fucking shem. He's a has-been. Hey, do me a favor. Take one of these pickles. They match your hat.
I like gold for all the championships.
Yeah, you too. I'll throw one down your throat like a hot dog down in Midtown Tunnel, fat boy.
So you just ruined the whole argument.
Gold?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I won. Now put an egg in your shoe and beat it. And don't come back again. There's more where that came from.
That's freaking hilarious on Instagram. Hat tip Tommy Guarino. I'm just telling you, when I grew up in New York, and I'm sure all you Boston folks in the chat, tell me that's not accurate. I can vouch for New York. Been to Boston, haven't spent a ton of time there, but I've got a lot of friends from Boston. Neil, Mike, others, you know who you are, Chris. You know who I'm talking about. They're like that too. It was a total working class town. And then you've got these socialists coming in there. Imagine talking to guys like that. Go, yeah, we're going to defund the police. We're going to tax you at 90%. We're going to have the government run your healthcare. We're going to send your kids to a shitty school. It's a... they don't want to hear that shit. That's why all these people left. Put up that montage again. All those people left. All those people left. All you've got in New York right now is a total vibe shift to a different place where they're trying to enact this. Look at this. Everybody's leaving. This sense of like you should live off others instead of making your own way. Experts project New York to lose 2 congressional seats. It's not happening. Folks, we got to get back to just basics. And I hate when people say that because it sounds like an oversimplification. But when I was growing up in New York and others were growing up in Boston, I'll bet in working class towns, there was at least a common Democrat-Republican overlap where the two political circles in this bipartisan environment we live in here, it's basically a duality. It's unfortunate. I wish there were other parties that could more effectively advance that agenda, but there are. We're stuck with Republicans and Democrats. The overlap was they loved the country. You don't see that anymore. You don't see that anymore. They're imbuing this sense of hatred and envy so that you want to take from others. They want you to hate the Elon Musks of the world. They want you to hate people who create jobs and create wealth for the world. And when you do that, you lose a sense of reason. And what they do is they distract you with this, and they get you to not believe in ideas, but believe in bypassing obstacles. I'm going to talk about this today. The Democrats don't have any ideas. Their ideas have already failed. What they do is they want to get rid of people who are an obstacle to their power. And one of the ways they do it is by imbuing people with this sense of envy and hatred. I hate when people do this. This country's been fought for by people who are white, who are black, who are Muslim, Jewish, Christian. This country belongs to everyone. Unalienable rights. This country belongs to everyone. We do not get to do this collective guilt bullshit that the left is doing without consequence. I saw this yesterday with the hapless, just absolute buffoon, Joy Reid, who's got to be one of the dumbest, if not the dumbest commentator. How the hell do you lose your job at MSNBC or whatever? I don't know what happened. She quit or what. How do you lose your, if you're a leftist lunatic, that's like the home of leftist lunatics. The answer is you say increasingly crazy shit nobody can tolerate. Here's Joy Reid claiming that black Americans don't celebrate the 4th of July, that she doesn't know any. This is like the no true Scotsman fallacy, by the way. You don't know any? I know a lot of black Americans that celebrate the 4th of July. You don't know any? Maybe you don't because you're just crazy. To black Americans, this is bullshit. This is your country too, just as much as it's mine or anyone else. Black, gray, blue, green, this is your country. Listen to this bullshit.
Because in many ways, and with apologies to my dear spicy white friends, because I know that my white brothers and sisters do love a 4th of July. It is Independence Day. Everybody's barbecuing. It's a thing. I can promise you, black folks, we will take that day off. We will barbecue because we off. But black people, that nobody black I know is really excited about the 4th of July because it is what Frederick Douglass said it is. It is the celebration of slaveholders who freed themselves from having to pay taxes to the crown for their slave empire. And that is what it is.
Folks, this is really gross. This is really gross. There is no group of men or women in a country, a nation state, a club, a bar, anywhere where people get together, they're fallible human beings. We've had some very tragic mistakes. Slavery was what is not unique to the United States by any stretch, but was an abomination. Universally agreed. No serious person ever questions that. Only crazy life losers and zeros. But to black Americans who may buy this shit, you understand that the history of black involvement in our military and the sacrifices that were made fighting for this country, you should be proud. There is so much that was done. Don't listen, don't take my word for it. You've got AI out there. Look up, what is ChatGPT? Look up the Harlem Hellfighters. I can't talk about this enough. World War I, Harlem's Hellfighters. If you're a black American, some of your ancestors fought in some of the most epic battles in U.S. history for not just freedom here, but freedom around the world. The Harlem Hellfighters, the 369th Infantry Regiment, originally the 15th New York National Guard Regiment. You got to read the story. Go just put it in, what is that, ChatGPT? Go look at what was done there. Henry Johnson, Horace Pippin, and others. This is your country too, as much as it is anyone else's. Some of the bravery and gallantry, some of the valor and merit. Go back to the Civil War. Hundreds of thousands of men died to eradicate this stain. Look up, if you would, go to Grok so we spread it around. Look up the Battle of Newmarket Heights. You know what the Battle of Newmarket Heights is? Black soldiers in the Civil War. Joy Reid doesn't want to tell you about any of this stuff because she wants you to hate this place. Yeah, a lot of bad stuff that happened. But she doesn't want you to hear about the good stuff either. Battle of Newmarket Heights, what was it? 14 medals of honor to black soldiers. Look it up. It's right there, guys. Look it up yourself. Notice how they don't tell you that. Don't give you a balanced approach of American history. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how they keep you distracted. This is how they keep you distracted. They want to oversimplify. If you're black, oh, all these bad things. Hey, a lot of bad things happened in this country. And a lot of amazing things happened too. It's a time to celebrate the contributions of good men to this great country on our 250th. And I'm not going to let them hijack our history. Notice how we don't run from it either. We don't run from the stuff that happened that was tragic and horrifying, slavery, Jim Crow. Nobody runs from that. We've discussed it on this show as much as anyone. But look where we are now. This is how they distract you. Envy and rage. This is how they distract you from the politics of bad ideas. This is how they run on socialism that has killed, murdered, starved, and tortured hundreds of millions of people throughout human history. And they get people to, quote, believe in it again because they're so distracted by rage and envy, they can't even think straight. I want to show you what I mean. Coming up again. The Tuskegee Airmen. It's the only reason I don't use a Tuskegee Airmen story more is because a lot of people are familiar with that. But another unbelievable story, Harlan Garrett in the chat. There's tons of them. There's tons of these stories. Folks, they're distracting you. I'm going to show you next, coming up, why these kinds of tactics create really dangerous demagogues like Ro Khanna. Ro Khanna is talking about Elon Musk weaponizing and investigating the United States government against Elon Musk like they did against Donald Trump. You think they would have learned? They've learned nothing. I'm going to point out what an absolute fraud this guy is too, because he's just a small piece of a larger puzzle. Frauds and phonies distracting you with rage and envy. Don't fall for it. Quick break. We'll go right back to the show. Hey, I want to tell you about a pharmacy doing something most companies don't have the guts to do. And you probably already know who I'm talking about. They've been with me a long time. All Family Pharmacy. They cut out the middleman completely. No insurance company telling you what you're allowed to have. They streamline the whole process. It's really simple. You fill out a quick form online. A licensed doctor reviews it. And if appropriate, writes the prescription. It ships straight to your door fast. I've used them multiple times. I have All Family Pharmacy packs everywhere. Here's the thing. Most of us already know what we need. Your allergy meds, your blood pressure meds, whatever antibiotic your doctor's told you before. You don't need a lecture. You just need a way to get it without the runaround. You won't be knocking on a pharmacy window in an emergency either. They've got over 400 medications, antibiotics, allergy meds, ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, even NAD, peptides, and methylene blue. If you're into the biohacking world, you saw my... I had the blue tongue last week from the methylene blue. Everything's handled online, no insurance, no waiting rooms. Just you taking control of your own healthcare. Go to allfamilypharmacy.com/Bongino10. Use the code Bongino10 and save 10% today. Big savings. allfamilypharmacy.com/Bongino10. Prescription required. Always consult a medical professional before taking any medication. This is not medical advice. Today's show also brought to you by Patriot Mobile. Make the switch today to Patriot Mobile. You think wireless companies are all the same? They are not. Take a look at Patriot Mobile. They are patriots, and they have a great mobile company too. This is just because of its mission. Patriot Mobile is built to outperform the other carriers, and they do. One of the best switches I ever made. They offer premium priority nationwide service on any of the 3 major U.S. networks, helping you get the best possible coverage wherever life takes you. With Patriot Mobile, you can even have 2 separate networks on the same device, eliminating the need to carry multiple phones. It's not even that hard to set up, and giving you peace of mind you just can't get with other carriers. You need internet on the go? Patriot Mobile's Wi-Fi hotspots connect to multiple networks to keep you connected while traveling or working remotely. They also offer international roaming and enterprise solutions for businesses that need dependable connectivity and US-based support. Keep your number, keep your phone, or upgrade. Switch from your home or office. It's really easy. Just takes a few minutes. Paula switched us both over. It took under 5 minutes. And when you call Patriot Mobile, you'll talk to real people right here in America. Superior coverage, amazing products, superior custom support. That's Patriot Mobile. Go to patriotmobile.com/Dan or call 972-PATRIOT. Use promo code Dan for a free month of service. That's patriotmobile.com/Dan or call 972-PATRIOT today. Thank you, Patriot Mobile. Okay, back to the show. I switched to Patriot Mobile. Thanks, Dan. Zeppeli Mix Maestro and leaves $1 Rumble. Thank you very much. You don't have to do that. We always told you, but thank you very much. You guys are great. You guys are awesome. Listen, when it comes to being about envy and rage like Joy Reid's trying to do to Black Americans on our 250th anniversary of this glorious country, right? Trouble always follows, folks. When it stops being about ideas, trouble always follows. And when I say trouble, to put meat on the bone, I mean death, I mean destruction, I mean economic, just complete evisceration of economies, public safety debacles, schooling, education nightmares, healthcare problems, when it stops becoming about ideas. That's why I said today in the show, is this guy one of the most dangerous men in America, if not the most dangerous man in America right now? And it's Ro Khanna. Ro Khanna is a congressman. He is a big scammer. He's a bullshit artist. He's a fraud. He's a total fake and a phony. And I'm really disgusted because he goes on Fox and these conservative and Republican leaning, networks and other places in their opinion content. And what does he do? He pretends he's this middle of the road, new era Democrat. He is a fake and a phony. He said something yesterday that crossed the line. Elon Musk is an obstacle to him. Elon Musk is probably the greatest free market entrepreneur of our time. I don't even think that's in dispute between SpaceX, Tesla, free speech on X and elsewhere. I don't think anybody seriously questions that anymore. It's an opinion, but a lot of people would agree. So Ro Khanna has to get this obstacle out of the way. I want you to understand, Elon is not about his ideas. Elon is an obstacle to their power. Elon represents everything a free market system and a constitutional republic should celebrate. Success, job creation, value creation. So they hate him. So what does Ro Khanna said out loud publicly? I love when they say the quiet part out loud. That we should definitely weaponize the government, investigate Elon Musk. Really? Ladies and gentlemen, when they say the quiet part out loud, you should listen to them because they're not kidding. Check this out.
Once we take power, there has to be accountability. There needs to be accountability for Elon Musk. They're celebrating that he created 4,400 millionaires, but they don't talk about the 4.5 million children around the world who he possibly sentenced to death by dismantling USAID. He needs to answer for that. He needs to be subpoenaed. He needs to face investigation. He needs to answer for what he did with Doge. That it's not just let's move on. And we will use the Oversight Committee and the Judiciary Committee to hold people accountable who violated the law on ICE and abused power with ICE, who violated the law in killing people on boats in the Caribbean, who violated the law when it came to Iran and some of the strikes, who violated the law with Doge. There will be accountability. There needs to be accountability before reconciliation.
Let me tell you where this money overseas that thankfully Doge started to clean up and USAID or elsewhere was going. I'm going to show you a tweet coming up in a minute about how the minute we started scrutinizing more money that was going to NGOs, non-governmental organizations, and overseas into slush funds elsewhere, it was going to support really what were far left radical groups. It was not going to support anything in the interest of the United States. Some of it may have been fraud, but Doge cleaned that up. So Elon Musk, in doing a public good through Doge and the operation at Doge, which, by the way, was very effective at the FBI too, came in, helped us out, took a look at some things, cleared up something like $300 million of waste. I can personally vouch for him. That is an obstacle to them, to government power and government spending. So Elon Musk must be handled. He must be investigated. We must weaponize the government to go after him. Forget about the billions and trillions in wealth he has created for an innumerable number of Americans and people around the world. He should be investigated immediately. Now, just to show you how this guy's a total freaking fraud, when we were going through the whole free speech fight with Parler years ago, Ro Khanna, who claims to be a big free speech advocate, was openly advocating on his Twitter account to shut down Parler when Twitter wasn't owned by Elon. The receipts are right here. You can go look at it yourself. It's still on his Twitter feed. Parler's hosted by Amazon Web Services. Amazon should deny Parler services until January 21st, unless they commit to moving all posts related to the incitement of violence that will help prevent further violence and save lives. This guy's the biggest anti-free speech guy around. He's totally full of shit, and yet people fall for this stuff. Why? Ro Khanna is not about ideas. He says he's about ideas, free speech. He's about eliminating obstacles to basically socialism and concentrated government power, which is what the socialist wants. He says he's an anti-wealth guy. He objects to Elon aggregating wealth through job creation and value creation and products. Yet Ro Khanna, ask Grok how much Ro Khanna's worth. If Ro Khanna, he doesn't like the idea, he's a big free speech guy who hates free speech, and he doesn't like what? Concentrated wealth? What is Congressman Ro Khanna worth? What is he worth? 100,000, 200? He's not worth that much, right? No way, because he doesn't like concentrated wealth. He says it's not like a net good and everyone should be investigated. Wow. Look at that. Ro Khanna has a median estimated net worth of $232.7 million. I'll take the 0.7. $232.7 million. You giving that away, Ro? What about the investigation too? Which, by the way, unless there was some, I do not recommend, unless there was but you seem to be pissed off about the idea of Elon's wealth, despite the fact you seem pretty damn wealthy yourself. Here's that tweet I was talking about before. This is why Ro Khanna and the Democrats don't like the idea of Doge. It's not that the idea of Doge bothered them. It's that Doge was an obstacle to them polluting overseas elections and the overseas political environment, to move overseas countries and foreign countries, South Central America as well, in the leftist direction. And wokeness. 7 Latin American elections since USAID was defunded. And he uses, quote, far right. Chile, the right candidate. Bolivia, the right candidate. Peru, the right candidate. Ecuador, the right. Honduras, Colombia, Costa Rica. We just had an election in Colombia. All of a sudden, these leftists aren't winning anymore. You see why Ro Khanna's pissed off about Doge and Elon? It's got nothing to do with an idea. It's got everything to do with them being an obstacle to concentrated power. You need to keep this, the word obstacle tattooed on the front of your cerebrum, cerebellum, and medulla oblongata, okay? The Democrats don't believe in ideas. They believe in power. They'll change their ideas like that. That clip we put up of Obama advocating for Trump-like border policies, and then his wife, Michelle, advocating for the opposite, went nuclear yesterday on Rumble Shorts. Notice, too, how Ro Khanna, one of the most dangerous men in America right now, wants to weaponize the government against people he doesn't like because they're obstacles. Notice how when you're not an obstacle, like Graham Plattner, Democrat Senate candidate in Maine, the guy with the Nazi tattoo, who's some story about him taking care of himself in porta potty. I don't even know how to, this is so disgusting. Notice how he says this guy should get grace. So not Elon, who's created trillions in wealth, Thousands of millionaires and people who were investors in the company. Elon deserves no grace. Chopsticks, catching rockets from the sky, things you would have put in a Netflix show 20 years ago. They would have laughed. That's so stupid. Chopsticks catching. No, it's real. Elon deserves no grace. Cleaning up government spending. But Nazi tattoo guy who enjoys porta potties, way too much, by the way, he deserves grace. This guy's a freaking fraud, and he's going to run for president. Check this out.
An ugly period in his life, and he believes that he is transformed and he's had redemption. And the voters of Maine had a choice, and they voted for him by 72%. At this point, almost the entire Democratic Party is supporting him, and it's for the voters to decide whether they believe his transformation is sincere. I believe that they will make that determination, but I do believe that people have to extend grace to folks who own up to past mistakes and say that they've transformed and that they're better.
Folks, this guy is a fraud. The porta potty guy, look up the story. I don't even want to talk about it. Even though I don't hesitate to drop like an F-bomb once in a while on the show, I probably shouldn't. I'm trying not to, but I do. I don't even want to talk about that. He deserves grace, but not Elon Musk. Folks, you have primaries today in New York, and I'm genuinely concerned that I don't want to be dramatic. This is not the worst time in political American history. It's not even close. I told you, please go look up the 1860s if you have any doubt. 1861 through basically, the 1860s were rough. But look through what they were dealing with back then in case you think this is the worst time ever. It's not even close. However, that does not mean we can't get there really fast. And the candidates running up in New York right now, they're delivering results, the energy in the parties with the socialists. How are you falling for this? The answer is you've been rage baited with envy by a bunch of crazy people like Ro Khanna who aren't running on any ideas because the ideas don't matter to them. Elon Musk deserves no courtesy, deserves no grace. Porta potty guy does. I'll show you what I mean here again. You've been told forever, right? You've been told forever by leftists who claim to believe in the idea of pro-choice, the choice to kill a human being in the womb. That's what the choice is. Just be honest. You've been told, we don't know when life begins. That's why we're not really terminating a human life in the womb. Bullshit. Abortion is never about the idea. Ladies and gentlemen, abortion groups raise a lot of money. The monies go almost exclusively to Democrats. It is about power. The Democrats will support anything, including terminating a human life, killing a human being, because it means organized, concentrated political power. That is it. And if you are a believer in preserving life from conception to natural death, you are an obstacle. You are an obstacle. Watch this debate series. This guy was a guy, Dean Withers. Watch him just admit it. Hey, you know this is killing a human being, right? Yeah, I'm cool with it. Folks, I thought they weren't cool with it. I don't know. I thought they said it wasn't a life. They didn't know enough. When they tell you who they are, you should probably listen. Check this out.
Because I think it's a permissible action, I therefore don't see any good reason to infringe on a woman's bodily autonomy in the legal prevention of her access to abortion. Therefore, it's a human rights violation.
So you don't understand that it's like you don't think it's killing a human being?
No, I do.
And you're okay with that?
Yes.
Okay.
I think the woman debating there, right, Justin's like stunned. Like, did he just say that? Yeah, he did. That's how they feel. I'm trying to open your eyes. I always have, hat tip, boogie down production. Edutainment, educational entertainment. This is the education portion of the show. There's nothing entertaining about that. This is only education. I'm just telling you who these people are because they're telling you who they are. I'm just using their own words. The energy in the parties with the socialists like Brandon Johnson in Chicago, they're delivering results. What results are they delivering? What results are they delivering? People cannot get out of blue cities and states fast enough. The U-Haul prices go up by the day in these places. If it's this utopia you claim it is with this wonderful education and healthcare and this fantastic public safety situation and flourishing economies and all that, then why are people leaving? The answer is because you are delivering results, shitty ones. And what happens? Here's the Joy Reid thing. You think Brandon Johnson's the worst mayor in America, like worse than Mondami? It's kind of hard. Brandon Johnson, between him, I don't even know, but Brandon Johnson's got more of a record of horrors to run on. Brandon Johnson's easily one or two. The mayor of Chicago is just a garbage human being. So because he can't deliver results and Chicago, the FBI in Chicago is busting their ass to try to clean this city up. And Chicago PD is great. I just want to say that in advance. The problem is the mayor of the city is a hapless buffoon who's a defund the police clown. We're trying hard to clean up Chicago. But because the mayor does not support the police, the cops down there know he doesn't support them. And last weekend was a killing field in Chicago again. What does he do? He goes back to the Joy Reid thing. Blind people with envy and rage, phony charges of racism, tell Black Americans are being mowed down in the streets by cops unarmed. All of these nonsensical fairy tales they tell people that it's a huge problem. Here's Brandon Johnson. He's asked about the crime problem, and he cites Lyndon Johnson 60 years ago. I want you to just, for a second, folks, please, if you're a liberal watching, just for a second, stop peeing in your diaper and clawing at your face and screaming at the screen for a minute. And I just want you to think, just stop for a second. That's all I'm asking. Try for a second to be reasonable. You're telling me that a guy in the street walking down the block at 2 o'clock in the morning who sees an innocent victim and decides they're going to mug them or rape them or worse, felony assault, murder, that they're thinking about Lyndon Johnson 60 years ago? Some of these assholes don't even know who Lyndon Johnson is, you dipshit. Check this out.
Yeah, it is personal. Black death has been unfortunately accepted in this country for a very long time. We had a chance 60 years ago to get at the root causes, and people mocked President Johnson. And we ended up with Richard Nixon.
Listen, man, Mayor Johnson, just beam in for a second, okay? Like missile lock in on them. You can go fuck yourself, okay? Black death has been accepted. It's Republicans like me and others who have fought over and over, whether running for office ourselves in blue states for things like school choice so young Black kids can get an education. It's Republicans and conservatives like us that have fought for the civil rights of Blacks and Jews and minority groups that have been targeted. The receipts are everywhere, you dipshit. You can shove that shit right up your ass. It's guys like me in the FBI who put my show on the shelf for the year and went over there to serve the public. What do you think? I was doing it for the money? And what's one of the first things we concentrated on? You absolute life loser, zero. And you know it. You know this happened. What's one of the first things we concentrated on? Big cities with large minority populations, Black, Hispanic, Asian, and others. The operations were called Summer Heat. You may have missed it. It was the most successful federal FBI violent crime initiative in American history. Dropped the crime rates everywhere. Dropped the homicide rate by the largest amount in modern American history. You know how many Black lives were saved? And we could have saved more if your stupid ass wasn't in office, you lying buffoon. Black lives don't matter. No, Black lives don't matter to you and your socialist bullshit. I'm really sick of this guy, folks. If you're in the patriarchy and you're the white male patriarch, you're a Black male, folks, when are you going to call bullshit on this stuff? That guy is a freaking phony and a fake and a fraud. You know, I'm changing today's show. I'm sorry. The most dangerous man in America, Brandon Johnson. Maybe that's why we put the question mark in there. That's true. People hate him. I think his approval rating's like 6%. You think the Black residents of Chicago appreciate a guy who's tearing apart their neighborhood and blaming Lyndon Johnson 30 years ago? Yeah, we tried Lyndon Johnson. Whatever, man. You want to see what it looks like, by the way? You notice it's very rare. It happens, but it's very rare that conservatives have a road to Damascus moment, become liberals. It happens. I mean, it's very, very rare. You almost never see. And usually it's just because there's money in it. You get like these losers who become, like the Liz Cheneys of the world. It's not really a liberal, but you get the point. Like they just like the whatever. They found some glory. The New York Times writes a nice op-ed about them and they go crazy, but it's very rare. But you see a ton of liberals that see the light when they listen to dipshits like Brandon Johnson and Ro Khanna. And what happens? Their eyes open, they turn around, they go, oh my gosh, I've been lied to the whole time. I was going to play this yesterday, but it's probably better I held it for today. This is a guy, says he's a former liberal, walking around the streets of one of the most liberal cities in America, Portlandia, right? Walking around a city where socialist candidates win all the time. And I think like noticing, if you get where I'm going, noticing for the first time, like, gosh, I've been lied to. This stuff really sucks. Don't listen to me, listen to them. Check this out.
Alrighty, y'all. I moved to Portland, Oregon about 4 years ago from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Before I left Pittsburgh, I considered myself pretty far left. And then like COVID happened. And then I moved to Portland and saw what far left really looked like. And I feel like the left has lost all common sense at this point. But all that being said, like being in Portland, I truly feel like I'm in a twilight zone every day. Like it really exposes like how ugly the far left can really be, because it's what I'm surrounded by on a daily basis. Like they're totally fine with walking past homeless people that are intense, that are having like mental breakdowns right in the middle of the street and acting like, oh, that's normal. This happens in every city. Like I just happen to walk by it every day to go get my latte. No big deal. I feel like all the morals have went out the window. All like the things that like y'all truly fought for went out the window. Now it's all about like protesting Tesla, hating Trump, and like fighting for men to have babies or something. Like it's literally crazy out here. If anything, it just turns me further to the right, seeing how people act out here, seeing like the point of privilege everybody has too. It's literally insane. Like if you don't believe what they believe, then you're a piece of shit.
At Farm Fed Yinzer, TikTok, hat tip. You see a lot of that. You see a lot of people starting to wake up and notice. Folks, these candidates on the ballot today in New York and anyone around the country subscribing to this socialist dystopian nightmare, all I'm asking you is please stop immersing yourself in envy and rage like Brandon Johnson and Joy Reid and the Bernie Sanders and AOCs of the world, constantly playing people against each other. And just use logic and reason for a second and open your eyes, listen with your ears, and take it all in and just look around you. Does this look like the utopia you were promised?
Stop it. Get some help.
It's my favorite gift. Stop it. Get some help. They just care about power. They don't care about debating the ideas. I showed you that with the abortion guy. They'll change their argument. We don't know when life begins. You're killing a life. Yeah, we're killing. We don't really care. It's not about the idea. They just want you out of the way. Republicans don't have that luxury, by the way. Republicans, because the media will excessively criticize Republicans about any stance or any idea they take, we don't get the luxury of avoiding ideas and running on envy and rage. We don't get to do that. We have to go articulate positions like patient-controlled healthcare, school choice. We have to go articulate positions that about regulations and removing unnecessary government red tape. We have to articulate positions on everything from AFFH to zoning to everything from first to invent to first to file. We have to go and articulate positions. All the Democrats have to do is say, "Hey, black people, Jewish people, whatever. The other guys hate you." That's it, and suckers fall for it. Their next target, by the way, and this has been their target for a while, but their next target of concentrated political fire. Hey, folks, but flag it in the chat. Get the flag thing up. I need the flags. Remember the date. What's today's date? What is the date? The 20, I don't even know. 23rd. Okay. Flag it. Flags in the chat, please. You'll remember I said this, okay? What do you got? 52,000 people? 50. I'm expecting everyone to flag this mentally. Their next concentrated act of political fire is going to be, look at it, is going to be to wipe out the Electoral College. Ladies and gentlemen, if they wipe out the Electoral College in presidential elections, this country will never, ever recover. And the argument they're going to use is it's racist and the Electoral College was founded to protect the institution of slavery. That's actual bullshit. Again, I'll encourage you to actually do some homework. Don't fall for the rage envy argument. Go look up Federalist 68, Hamilton talking about the Electoral College. He's actually talking about why they did it. Just look it up yourself. Federalist 68, Hamilton. You can read about it, why the founding fathers wanted the Electoral College to protect from foreign influence, to make sure cabals didn't basically take over and hijack the presidency. If anything, because every state was guaranteed a minimum of 3 Electoral College votes, it protected small states against the interests of big states, which, if anything, was a valuable asset in fighting slavery. But because dipshits on the left will believe anything Kamala Harris or any other moron tells you, I promise you, this is going to be the next big fight, is them getting rid of the Electoral College in addition to stacking the Supreme Court. And they're going to say to stupid people, because it's racist. Here's Kamala Harris laying the battleground on Don Lemon's show already to get rid of the Electoral College for a national popular vote, meaning the presidency will be decided by California 6 months later when they get done harvesting votes from a bunch of illegals in California. Check this out.
What about the Electoral College?
I think we need to look at that too. Yes. Yes, I do.
Because it's clear to me, this is me, I don't want to put words in your mouth, that we are being governed by a minority in this country, because most people in this country aren't as extreme as the folks who are, they're not MAGA, they're not extreme right. They believe that a woman should have a right to choose, but that's not actually what we're living under right now. They believe that there should be a separation of church and state where you can worship whatever God you want, or you don't have to at all. And it seems like we're moving into, because of this minority, into Christian nationalism, and into, having the majority of Americans' freedoms diminished or restricted because we're being governed by the minority.
Yes, and I think that there is some real shaking up that we have to do of the rules and the structure. And
is that get rid of the Electoral College?
I think that should be a discussion that we should have. I don't think we should eliminate that as a point of discussion for potential action.
Now, many of you were thinking at the end, like, oh, wow, she said, I don't think we should eliminate that. No, she means don't eliminate it as getting rid of it as a point of discussion for potential action. That is, if that's not the language of Kamala. No, you ever take a logic course in college? Remember, like, what is it, modus tollens and modus ponens? Remember that stuff? If then and all these, you ever take a computer programming, if then, equate, all this other stuff? Kamala Harris never does. There's never an if then. There's a then, an if and an if, an if and if. Maybe a then, maybe then, maybe then, THAN, then THEN. Kamala Harris has no sense of like logic chains at all. I don't think we should eliminate that. Oh, the Electoral College. No, the discussion as a point of discussion later that we shouldn't eliminate. What the fuck? Wait, eliminate the Electoral College? Yes. No, don't eliminate it. Don't eliminate the college? No, don't eliminate the point. What point? The discussion point. About what? The Electoral College. You can't ever follow this woman. She must be doing this on purpose. Why? Because she doesn't want you to think she has an idea, because then you can run against the idea. So she runs on envy and rage. I don't think we should eliminate discussing that. And watch, the argument will be it's because it's racist.
As a point of discussion for potential action.
Can you do me a favor? Because I don't want to do, I could do the Grok ChatGPT all day. Can you just look up Federalist 68? Just read it yourself, please, in case you think I'm lying to you. Tell me in there where it says, we are going to establish the Electoral College to protect the institution of slavery. Just tell me where it says that, please. Just tell me where it says that. You can't. And if you fell for this Kamala Harris bullshit, you are a sucker. Watch. This is going to be the next big thing. They want California to decide the presidency. That's what's going to happen. That's all they want. If California was a Republican state, by the way, they would be begging for the Electoral College. And if we had a popular, they'd be like, we got to change that. We got to go to electoral college. Because it's not about ideas to them. It's about obstacles. The electoral college is an obstacle to them. That's it. Quick break. And we got a big expansion of the Nothing is Happening file. We're going to have to add 2 more case files today. I mean, just amazing stuff happening everywhere. Celebrate the W's. Good things are happening. 250 years of freedom, liberty, and kicking ass for America. Hey, how much control you have over your money right now? Technology is changing rapidly and how it works. Crypto is now mainstream. Faster payments, more control, fewer middlemen. That's why. It's easier to start than you think, by the way. With Rumble Wallet, you can buy Bitcoin, hold dollar-backed stablecoins, or hold digital gold backed by real gold all in one place. It's a non-custodial crypto wallet, which means you, not a bank or a platform, control access to your funds. Setup is simple. You can connect with MoonPay, so you can use your debit card, credit card, or bank account and start in minutes. I use Rumble Wallet, and for a limited time, if you're among the first 500 to activate your Rumble Wallet, you get $10 in U.S. stablecoins by entering my exclusive promo code Bongino10 when you sign up. You can even use your Rumble Wallet to support creators on Rumble directly. So scan the QR code, click the link in the description, or go to wallet.rumble.com/Bongino and download the Rumble Wallet. Download it in the App Store. Set up your wallet, enter promo code Bongino10 to get $10 in U.S. stablecoin. It's a limited time offer until June 30th, so act now. Rumble Wallet. Take control of your money. Get started with Rumble Wallet today. Terms and conditions apply. See the description below or visit rumble.com/promotion. Official rules for details. Thank you, Rumble Wallet. I have one. Paula has one too. Car Shield too. I rely on my car for everything. Commutes, vacations, work, everything. I'm in my car all the time. So does Jasmine. So when something's not working correctly, it's more than just a hassle. It throws your whole routine off balance. You're waiting for that big bill to come in. You know it's going to disrupt your finances. Listen, I've been there. You don't need these unexpected repair bills. Here's the thing I like about Car Shield. Car Shield helps protect you from those surprise expenses. They've got 24/7 roadside assistance. That's big. You don't want to get caught. Towing, even rental options so you're not stranded. You can take your car to an ASE certified mechanic nationwide, and their plans are month to month with low deductibles, which just makes life easy. Avoid unexpected hassles. They've been doing this for over 20 years. They cover over 2 million vehicles. That's a lot. People actually rate them highly too, which matters to me. And should to you too. Drive with zero worries thanks to Car Shield. Right now, Car Shield's offering our listeners 20% off with the code Bongino at carshield.com/Bongino. Don't let an unexpected breakdown ruin your day. Get covered with Car Shield and drive with confidence. 20% off. Go to carshield.com/Bongino. Use code Bongino now for 20% off. Avoid those unexpected hassles. Thanks, Car Shield. All right, ladies and gentlemen. We do? Oh, is that another one of my things? The spots. Spot sign language. So one of these days we'll do a studio show live again when things kind of clear up a bit. And you can watch how the whole sign language mechanism. They seem kind of random, but these guys seem to be able to interpret it. The Nothing is Happening file is growing by the day. I told you, folks, I'm not asking anyone for trust me, bro, or be patient. All I'm telling you is things are happening because I know they were happening because I was there and I know what they're doing. And I know we're going to see them. So I don't need to say trust me or be patient because I know this stuff is going to happen. It's just interesting when it happens, how the black pillars just avoid what happened. Remember all the fraud cases? Minnesota, the Nick Shirley videos? And again, everybody's like, oh, well, nothing's going to happen. Well, now we're up to what, like 400, 500 huge arrests? We have guys getting arrested for billions of dollars in fraud. And I'm glad that we can rack up the W's. Hat tip to Vice President Vance for leading the task force, the DOJ and FBI for locking these people up. But they just nabbed another one of these guys the other day. Everyone's innocent until proven guilty. However, this is more from the Nothing is Happening file.
Second most wanted fraudster. He's allegedly behind, listen to this, a $1.2 billion Medicare conspiracy, billion with a B. White House officials praising the anti-fraud task force's role in making this bust.
This is why this task force was so important, because it has focused all of the resources of the federal government on doing this. The Biden administration could have gotten him. They found plenty of time to arrest people playing outside of abortion clinics, but instead they let this guy run away with all of his money outside of the country.
Again, it's how, oh, here we go. Breaking news, right? This is perfect timing. Hey, can you flip the back camera? This is just breaking on Fox, right? If you're watching live, which you are because it's live, and there's obviously no on demand yet. Breaking news, the administration on record-breaking fraud takedowns. That is acting AG Todd Blanche. You see Bobby Kennedy off to his right, Colin McDonald, the Assistant Attorney General of the Fraud Task Force. I'm announcing more arrests on this. Again, folks, please, it's the United States of America. You have the God-given, capital G, God-given, capital R right to complain about the government. Petition it, assemble, whine, gripe, moan. You have the absolute right. God bless you for doing it. I'm just telling you, you don't get to make up your own facts. This stuff is happening. All of this fraud that's been going on for decades, just in a year and a half of the Trump administration, hundreds of people have been locked up. Billions of dollars of fraud was stopped between Doge and all this stuff. This is real stuff. If you want to be depressed all the time, be depressed. I choose not to. Here was the FBI in the last year, because I saw some guy tweet this past weekend, some jerkwad who he wanted to come on my show one time, and I didn't have him. I used to have him on. I didn't have him on him. So he's whining and moaning. Yeah, nothing happened. You're just a moron. Here's FBI 2025 and 26, 20% drop in nationwide murder rate, 45,000 violent crime arrests, 24,450 gangs and criminal enterprises disrupted, 2,600 kilos of fentanyl seized, 6,900 child victims located, 2,900 child predators and human traffickers arrested, 113 counterintelligence arrests. And by the way, those percentages are up dramatically. Oh, there's even more. And 8 of the FBI's 10 most wanted fugitives captured. If you guys were so great before, the liberal Democrats doing such a good job at the FBI before, then why didn't you do this stuff? It's exhausting keeping up with the black pillar and doomer assholes. By the way, folks, it's all a bullshit up. I promise you. They don't like me and others of my ideological leanings because we don't engage in their identity politics bullshit with the Jews and stuff. That's it. I promise you, if I were to come out tomorrow, which obviously would never happen, but if I were to come out tomorrow and even do I'm starting to question everything going on, and maybe these people would be like, that was the greatest thing that ever happened to me. That's all they were about. It's so obvious when you see it. I'm so glad everybody woke up to that.
It's a data point.
It's a data point. Here was another thing that happened. If nothing happened over the past year, we came in and we started looking at, I haven't really told a lot of these in-depth stories, and I don't like to spend a lot of time on it, but we have an FBI tip line. It's at FBI.gov. I think you know that. And the problem when we got in there, which hadn't been solved in decades, and no one at the FBI is going to tell you otherwise, they'll be lying to you if they do. The FBI tip line was being inundated. NTOC, the National Threat Operations Center, it was being inundated with tips that the FBI, we would have to pass off because we had no jurisdiction. Either it wasn't a federal crime, some of it was emergency stuff, and we'd have to refer it immediately to police department, tell people call 911, not here. But some of the stuff was valuable. And segregating out kind of the valuable wheat from the chaff, no one had dealt with this problem in 20 years. Cash and I got in there. We formed this task force, and we fixed the place up. It's still a work in progress because there's a lot to fix. But again, this is the kind of thing that was happening there while a bunch of people, nothing is saying, you don't know shit, man. You never did anything. You sat on the sidelines in a porta potty with Graham Plattner. Here's Cash talking to a couple of guys interviewing him, talking about exactly what went down with CGIS and NTOC. This is stuff that happened you should know about because it's your FBI. Check this out.
National Threat Operations Center, basically our ingest point 911 for the FBI writ large. We put AI into that so that we can triage the tips and information coming in, prioritize them, and connect them immediately to cases. And one example last year was we stopped the school shooting in North Carolina because immediately actioned a tip from AI out of our NTOC into the field, shared it with state and locals who had outreach to the community to say, hey, do you guys know exactly where this school might be? Sync that together and shut it down. And the same thing we're doing with places like CGIS, our Criminal Justice Information Center, our database, our hub in West Virginia. We've had all these people trying to change their fingerprints, alter them so that they can't get caught. We brought AI in with our private sector partners and basically outfitted a system that allowed us to go out there and capture people on state warrants, on federal warrants, murderers, rapists, all folks we would have missed because we don't have the human capacity to do it alone.
Someone wrote in the chat, Sebun79, too busy chasing innocent people. The leadership certainly was. Folks, I don't talk about this stuff a lot because I don't want to wear you out with SPS. What's SPS? Anybody in the chat know? How many P1s out there know what it means? Josh, pop quiz. This is one of those things you need to know. The great Aunt Jane, God rest her soul, she's my godmother, mother's sister, obviously. That's why she's my aunt. Liberals are here. You got to talk to them slow. She was my godmother. She used to say, Daniel. She called me Daniel like my mom. Daniel, self-praise sucks. It does. SPS, okay? I'm just telling you, it's your FBI. It's not my FBI. It's yours. It had gotten way off course. The leadership there was grotesque before. They had them doing everything but the important stuff. This NTOC problem, this CGIS problem, nobody had handled this. They just let it fester for years. They were too busy trying to arrest Donald Trump. Every day we had a new task force we built up to fix a problem nobody had touched in the FBI for years. We don't talk about it every day. So I don't want to bore you on this show. But it's kind of important stuff. There wasn't a single day we didn't have a packed itinerary. Nothing is happening, clowns. It's just exhausting. By the way, I said I would cover this, and this is really important. If Major League Baseball made a move, many of you know the backstory. We're not doing this stuff anymore. The identity politics, LGBTQAIQ spirit. We're just, listen to me. Live your life. Do your thing, man. Do your thing. It may not be my thing. I protect the civil liberties of everyone. I got the receipts to back it up. Be nice, be cool, whatevs. Do your thing. We're not doing it. Your thing may not be our thing. We don't want it shoved down our throats. So Major League Baseball, there was a couple of pitchers out there for the San Francisco Giants that wrote a Bible verse on their hat. Supposedly they were told by the management of the team, like, well, you shouldn't be doing that or whatever. I said, Major League Baseball, finally sports is getting to a better place where we're not doing the lunacy anymore. Like, it would probably be a good idea you correct this before people lose their minds. And Major League Baseball, I said I'd cover it and be fair. Senator Josh Hawley had asked him for some answers on it. And Major League Baseball Commissioner Rob Manfred said the players were neither fined nor disciplined, nor will they ever be. He said the players received only a routine oral warning related to the uniform policy. He said the league later learned the Giants had not clearly informed players they could opt out of the Pride theme cap and wear a standard game cap instead. And they notified the Fox News tweet that this has become a flashpoint. It's not a flash. It's only, well, they're not wrong. It's only a flashpoint because it's getting shoved down people's throat who just aren't. These players were not interested in taking part. Doesn't mean they don't like or hate anybody. They just don't want to be advocating for a cause that's not their thing. This is not hard. So good for you, Major League Baseball. We're not doing this anymore. This is a small group of people trying to shove this down other people's throat who just, it's spoken out of any sense of envy or hatred like the Joy Reid, Brandon Johnson stuff. It's just not our thing. Do your thing. And we all have one thing in common. What is it? 250 years of freedom, liberty, and kicking ass, my new favorite shirt. Someone said, want a shirt in the chat that can't fix stupid, which is true. Well, think about it. I've got to vet that by Paula. Paula's the queen of the store. Store.bongino.com if you want to pick one of them up. Paula's been throwing all kinds of stuff on there. I think she's got like a challenge going coming. She loves that store. It's like, it's her thing. Store.bongino.com. Make sure you check out Haley at noon, rumble.com/Haley, and the king of morning podcasting, Vince Colon-Ace. Rumble.com/Vince every day at 0800 Eastern Time. Also, download the Rumble app. It is free. And if you want to watch on the web, that's free too. Go to rumble.com/Bongino. I only ask one thing. Click that follow button. And if you wouldn't mind giving us a follow on Apple and Spotify as well, I would really appreciate it. It means a lot to us. Thank you so very much, folks. I will see you back here tomorrow at 10 a.m.
I'm Haley Caradia,
host of Vince,
host of Scrolling with Haley.
You can always catch my show right here
on the Bongino Report,
live 8 a.m. Eastern weekday mornings,
weekdays at noon. If you miss it, no worries. The show will always be
right here
and anywhere you find podcasts. Thanks for watching.